Hi there. Reload the page and retype the title, and then I had to reload the page and not retype the title, and here we are. And we already have somebody. Wow, like 7 seconds in. Now, when I thought of doing this video the other day, well, I guess you could say that I didn't actually think at the time. I think I was trying to fall asleep and the viewer left, whatever. That partly a funeral I was at recently may have instigated. I don't really want to go all the way downstairs. I think I'm going to go grab a pair of socks, but may have instigated the idea of it being a sister energy. Whether it was my friend trying to reach me, I don't know. Maybe a smidgen insensitive this soon after. Like, I got a sense from the boyfriend that he believes in this stuff. And she probably does too, for that matter. But this soon after, I'm not even sure about, whether it's this summer or the one after, tell him about the project I'm working on. I don't know. I do and don't feel like I'm really surprised that, it wasn't much rekindling. But, so this is very, sure, I could try and channel my own loved ones. I have done that a few times in this channel. And till we get viewers, I'm going to sit back here, maybe even when we do. But yeah, the lighting is actually quite good in here naturally today, even though it's not super bright outside and the window's kind of behind the computer. The computer is Windows, just kidding. But part of me wants to save my energy because, I might need it when I'm channeling. Part of me, and yeah, people can see, yeah, just for those who've never seen previous videos of me doing it, like, sorry. There's something else I've been wanting to try too. I've never done it before. Let's just say that. I've never done it before. And I feel like if I get the right person, she's open to it. If I don't, it's simple as wrong number. I'm trying to reconnect with somebody from my past, and it's been a bit of a challenge, but there's a few things pushing me to try to. And I haven't tried this method, but I was laying in bed and suddenly the idea came to me. I think it was this morning. Or was it when I tried? No, I think it was this morning. I don't think I woke up and remembered that I'd been thinking about it. To try calling her, to try one or two. I don't want to call it prank numbers. It's either going to be the right number or prank calls. The right number or the wrong one. You know what I mean? I like how the screen still is not actually showing that that I can see. But yeah, basically, it's a little after 10 o'clock in the morning here, so I think that that's a fairly decent time to call. I have a feeling that this particular friend with her health struggles and that probably sleeps at different times throughout the day or whenever she can. I know I got socks up here, and the dogs, maybe I'll even let the dog come up here. I am going to grab my phone because, yeah. Sorry about that. Nobody's here. Not apologizing to anybody, apparently. And yeah. I don't know if I really need to say my reasons, but none of them are sinister. Some people could say a couple of them are a smidgen selfish, but not strongly and not only, because I'm not like that. In fact, well, I would like to be doing this more for others, basically, as well, not just for myself when I'm able. Like, now, did he come up here? Yes, he did. Okay, you gonna go on the crate, Sonny? Gonna go on the crate? Okay, don't need to stand at the window barking. So either come in here or go down there. One of the two. Yeah, if I wait long enough, I think I'm talking to myself. I think he'll scaramouche. I think he actually just did go to the crate. Now, but if he thinks I'm on the phone, that's a different thing. And sometimes he can tell the difference of how I sound on the phone to how I sound. You're talking to myself or doing a video or talking to him. Sonny? Oh, he is back. Need to go lay down, okay? Thanks. Part of me wants to give this a bit more time. I know it's hit and miss. The fact that it doesn't matter because people are in different places of the world with different life situations. Not only to channel for someone else, but for someone to say, to see this in progress. In you go, please. In you go, please. Honey. Okay, do you want to just go downstairs then? Go downstairs and be all right. But I do think that, if we've never had problems with people, and if we can forgive them, great too. But if we've never had problems with someone, they're not meant to be in our past. And sometimes life just happens that way. But, I don't want to be waiting forever for viewers. So I don't know what to say. I think the title was pretty good. The hat. Sometimes we get a like very early on. It's just showing support. They don't usually stay. Sometimes they do, but for a little while. But I just thought I heard a noise, so I'm just going to go quickly check. And yeah, I just did. So one thing I can say is that, it's all about love and light. And even though I very much need money, I mean, we all do, and especially in today's world. But one, I don't know how I'd get it, and two, I'm just happy to do it for others as well. The channel is monetized, so I guess I don't remember exactly how that works, but that is an option. But otherwise, it's I'm just going to close the door. Love and light, positive vibes, healing. As soon as I get up to close the door, the person leaves. That just tuned in. Very strange. Just going to let them settle down there. That's closer to the ball than I actually had. As far as getting in the mode with this ability goes, like I'm sitting here kind of waiting either for viewers or to do the other thing I'm thinking of doing, or I don't know, maybe one of my loved ones will pop in. Uh, Somebody else just did. Only one here at the moment, but I haven't brought along, but welcome. I guess as far as, like, I think in one of my videos I explained my first visitation from my dad, as the viewer goes, moments prior. And I understand that this is the type of thing some people could be hesitant about. Honestly, I wouldn't say because of religion, and I'm not here really to have religious debates, but I mean, lots of religious people. I mean, an older guy in a video I was watching the other day about the afterlife, I guess it was the theme. YouTube showed it to me. Was saying that a lot of people don't report their or don't mention that they've had, a lot of do, but that they've had NDEs, including some people that think that, well, but I don't know. I think that it can change one's opinion if they have personal experiences or an NDE, channeling or an NDE. And I was always fairly open to it, but it certainly has expanded my mind and been quite something to, but always positive and loving, and very special to me. And whether you've seen other people's channel before or not, or been to a medium or whatever, let's get that out, right? I'm just gonna sit back here for a moment because the seat's a little bit more comfortable. I could switch them, but I don't know. That one's a bit taller. I can see if you would be okay with switching them. That's not that much better, this one. And it is. I think it's too low for the table, which is a really nice table, actually. Anywho, sometimes it honestly just happens. Whether a sign, a symbol, me watching somebody else that does it kind of sparks it. Sometimes being in a state like just before bed, rarely in dreams, even though I sometimes go to bed with an active mind. Not always on this kind of stuff, but it's kind of because like I do and I don't have a lot going on. Mostly don't at the moment. But when I think about what do I do to ground myself, not much. It just usually happens verbally, in writing. Yeah, it either happens or it doesn't. Maybe if I tried to ground myself more often, it would happen more. Because I know I have loved ones that would really like to reach out to me and are around me, and same with yours, more than I probably realize, even as someone who's open to it. Of course, if I was out and about a lot more frequently these days, I'd notice more signs and symbols. But I mean, you don't have to be out and about. You can hear it on the radio or on something you watch or something you read, or like it's everywhere, really. It's everywhere. But yeah, one thing that doesn't give a good impression of it, whether it's stuff about ghosts or certain types of movies or those things, it's often a lot more fictional, a lot more made for entertainment. Which, not that this stuff is not, I guess the word would be amusing, but it's really more about healing, and it's really, nobody's watching, unfortunately, to hear this great speech that I'm making about it, but, and about, yeah. So, and honestly, I feel if I was just to sit here quietly, I'm just going to think about how I just want to do this. I just want to do this. Channeling for viewers, if we get any soon, and the thing I want to try with the phone. And otherwise, just kind of sitting there. And even if I do that a lot, I'm always often bouncing around on devices, or on things online or whatever. So, yeah, stillness, even for someone like me, partly ADHD, but also just in general, like, I mean, ADHD is not, whatever, not going to work miracles, change my life entirely, yeah, dude. And I can't hyper-focus. But anyway. Ooh. Um, and I figured I might get my friend's help with this, who, if she was still alive, probably has the phone number in her phone and would say, "Oh yeah, I can get that for you." Uh, whether she'd ask anything or not, I'm not sure. Part of me thinks she wouldn't. If she did, it would probably go something to the effect of, um, "You guys have met each other? You guys have met each other? Oh, okay." You know, she was very laid back, very, and she knows me and she knows the kind of person I am. She knows that person. Unfortunately, she's passed away, and there's just, even though they were fairly close, I was surprised the sister didn't know her better, for instance. And the person that has her phone is just too awkward to ask, um, you know, this soon after and everything is just, um, but so then I told myself, and again, like I have had a number of experiences with my own loved ones and the occasional with somebody else's that, there's no denying, and you can watch other videos about it too. Like this stuff is real. Just because one hasn't experienced it themselves yet, it doesn't mean it's not. Um, but I did sense when I thought about this a little earlier that she might sit with me and try and give me the numbers. You know, one's own head can always get in the way. One's own head can always get in the way, and let's be honest here. I mean, that's what I'm always about. But like, even though it's doable, you know, uh, getting messages. You could say from, oh, the sun comes out again, the sky is blue. It's been really varying this morning, and it's supposed to be windy and possibly drizzling. So I haven't wanted to go anywhere, but I kind of do. But also I'm not feeling super up to it. But anyway, the point of the matter is I don't know. Part of me thinks, well, heaven's far away, or at least our concept of it in the sky. And they have to be above the height that planes fly, and this and that. It's far away, but yet they sometimes do feel very close. So I don't know. You can still hear whispers. I don't think you whispered to me. If I do get the person that I am trying to reach, I might go out of the room just because I want a few minutes of privacy. But yeah, I just have to realize that, it's not really rejection, if it's not the right person, and it's not pranking them. I'm trying to make an honest reconnect with someone whose number I don't have and way of reaching I don't have, but who's been on my mind a lot lately. And I was actually hoping to run into her on Saturday, but I didn't. Wow, it's really gotten nice and sunny. It's like the heavens shining down. And actually, I covered that song on here the other day because the funeral. But it is still kind of gray sky, kind of cloudy. So two people just came in at the same time. One has stayed. The other one maybe planned to come back. I don't know what happened there. Again, when I was thinking about doing this video the other day, the viewer goes, but I don't think that it was just because of recent circumstances where I was thinking, and even kind of sister, where I was thinking sister. And actually, that was before that call. But, and I guess even though I sometimes struggle with confidence when saying up to someone else, I guess I'm figuring, oh, it must be true then, But anyway, okay, it's 10:33 locally, 10:35. Not my favorite combination of numbers, but it's been lackluster. I mean, Now, if it is her, I mean, I guess I should kind of prepare the way. I don't think it'd be anything personal because that comment that you put on the imagery recently, you know, I don't think it'd be, you know, it was it was brief, but it was positive vibes, and let's just see how it goes. Now, truth also be told, there are maybe some numbers that sound like other numbers, although I can't think of any, especially as high as phone numbers go. All I could say again, and I can't stress this strong enough, and hopefully we do get a viewer so I could show it. You can also look back at some of my old videos, some actually recent ones too, actually. One, if it looks like I'm in a kitchen, although I may not have started it there, but no, they're like at home. I don't know. It's just they've been very real, very touching, very moving. Um, and I've also seen other people be channeled for same thing there. Same thing there. And that's the most important part is that somebody feels that kind of healing and, you know, such healing that, yeah, it's never a complete fix. We can't bring as back physically back or as much as we would like someone who has passed away. And as humans, even with the gift, it's going to be hard at times, missing people. But yeah, it's so I am about to, like I say, it's a genuine attempt to try and reconnect with somebody. I don't have a number for. The viewer leaves. Anywho, so I'm going to do this because this person is important to me. I'm worried about them, and I'm curious to see how it works. Question is, how many times do I want to try? We have one person viewing at the moment, so I could say one, and if not them, and even if them, that I reach what I want to try and do in a moment. If you have a loved one, that all you have to do is, and the viewer goes. So whatever. Again, it's one of those things that some people are all for, or believe in. Some don't, and some are a little unsure. And I understand that. I mean, it shows a symbol, a one at the top now. So either somebody came back or somebody just came in, and then they leave. So whatever, I'm going to stop focusing on that now. It's not really productive. I don't know whether this would be either, but I want to try. I want to at least try one number. And now it's 10:39 by that phone, by that device. It could be a very positive thing. And yeah, post is not getting approved as quickly as they usually do. And I can delete even asking if I end up reaching her. I'm looking at something online that I had up on my phone, and I'm not sure if it's giving me the answer or not. I mean, the other thing too is realize that you can just bestow one at any point in time. Basically, it's about an investigation about something that happened pretty close to home. I wasn't going to tell because it does have the dog, and I think but he says he does try to stop the dog because most people are harmless. He said, "Oh, well, hey, your old lady would be fine, unless she's off her meds." Just kidding. But he did seem a little bit shocked and a little bit not sure what to think. But yeah, there was a bit of a situation. I read about it this morning. Now I can't remember when her funeral was. You'd think it was just on the weekend. What today is the 25th? Or 22nd? Okay. No, 23rd. Wait a minute. 24th? 3rd. Yeah, 27th. Anyhow, and there is a number. It starts with a C. I don't know if that stands for call, and then there's 7 digits. But it's like C25 dash. So I don't think that's a regular phone number, but there's still enough digits for it to be, I believe. And although it would be weird that that's the number, that almost makes me want to try that first. Because if I don't, well, how do you put this? No, I think you're supposed to call. I don't know. It's the only phone number I'm seeing though. Well, you probably, I don't know, maybe you just call 911 and then you give that number or get transferred or they give you a number to call. But anyway, I don't know. It's there right at the top of the group that I posted, hoping somebody might know this person, but the post has not been approved yet. It's only been a few hours, 3 hours, but and part of me is thinking, even though it would be an odd connection, part of me is thinking, and that's not like, yeah. Hi, is Bobby there? Bobby? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Now, that was a middle-aged sounding guy, and he goes, "Who? Bobby? No, I think you have the wrong number." So I wouldn't want to try that one again. There's somebody who gave me the number recently. It's weird. I was missing a digit, but I kind of remembered, and I got it, and I called them, and I got it right. And she was napping. It was a few hours later, and I thought I corrected it. Also typed it into an email to myself to remember, but there's other stuff said. And ever since then, when I've tried to get it, I've gotten the wrong number. But yeah, I might be doing something wrong. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to do this a lot, but I feel like I want to try a couple more times at least. Third time's the charm, as they say, so maybe try at least 3 times. As long as I make sure that I don't do the same number. Once I get past the first digit after the area code, I'll know that I haven't. Okay, so I just gotta. I'm gonna try. If it doesn't work, I can't tell you why it doesn't work. Maybe it's just not meant to be at this time, or something. Because, like I say, the stability. It's never given me miracle answers that I've needed, but it's given me love and others who experience it, love and support and to at least a basic level, but yet also deeply sometimes. So I don't even have what's the page number. I'm just going to type here the ones that I try so that I don't accidentally do it twice because they're doing this. I'm not going to do too many. I'm not going to post them or anything, but 7, 2. This is a long distance call, which it wasn't because I didn't put a 1 in front of it. So that was the second try. So third time's the charm, hopefully. And within that process, uh, somebody just tuned in. I don't know if they've been here before, and I don't want to sound redundant. Um, Basically, what I will say, as the title kind of alludes to, all I'm asking in the comments at this point with the viewer goes, so screw it. But for anybody who sees it afterwards, I will say that. Although maybe again, makes more sense to say it when somebody's here that might um, benefit as well. I don't know about trying forth about the other area code 204. But yes, all I'm asking in the comments at this point in time is just to say I would like to hear from my so and so or a first name even, and the viewer goes, and then I can start getting some info from the angel. I mean, perhaps it's not surprising, but it's somewhat surprising that well, I don't want to say if nobody's here because it. Although again, there's a possibility someone might see it afterwards. I don't know. I don't even know if my head's in the mode to channel right now. I'm just trying to do this number thing. And I thought, oh, it might be. I mean, initially I wasn't gonna if it was just a call, and I thought, oh, you know what? But maybe I can channel for other people too. And I still want to heal people, help people, get to know their loved ones, bring them their loved ones on this Monday. But they aren't here, for us to do so. Then they're not. I mean, I will say, even though this is a big platform and this and that, I will say this. I don't see a whole bunch of them right now. My peripherals and my visual clear. I guess that's clear sentience. I believe in my visual mind, whatever. But I do see a couple, a male and female couple, middle aged. And I mean, yeah, I was middle aged, yeah, like I was. But no, I wasn't thinking about that when I thought that's what I see. Now, I understand, actually. I just realized some people may think, well, you have more of a chance to be right if you say there's two people. But then it's about the details that unfold. Um, you know, um, and yeah, I very well could likely be right because this can be very real. Why would we want to think that we will never see our loved ones again? I mean, as much as we might not want to exist again, it's a different type of existence there. Everything is a bit more soft and subdued. And, even when they watch our emotions, even when they feel theirs, doesn't mean they don't. But I think it's comforting to know that, sometimes it's hard waiting to see them again. And that's why it's good to be open to this kind of ability because it can be in the meantime, So I have tried two. Is that correct? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay. And it says it's a long distance call too. As much as I say I want to try it 3 times, I kind of want to. I don't know why it's doing that. I kind of want to at least hear one other voice on the line, because like with this ability, sometimes it's not like super loud, but I still hear it. I can still process what's being said and relay it. I don't talk on the phone with a lot of people these days. I was going to try and do some volunteering at some programs, supporting the isolated, but that hasn't come together yet. There was just a lot too much involved in the process and some iffy feelings about it. So, but I'm going to try something here. I know it's, well, I don't want to say it's going to cost you, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. Just looking at a Walmart list and $10.51. Voicemail. Okay, that was an automated voice for what sounded like an Italian male name. So if there's an Italian male, or I don't know, maybe I should say, because I don't know, this will speak to someone. It could speak to a lot of people. Who knows? But, maybe you'll see this, you'll watch to this point, and maybe it was meant to be that name because does somebody have an Armando in their life? Perhaps that didn't have a voicemail greeting and it was automated. So that's the fourth try. How about that in reverse? Going back in time is what I'm trying to do with it, with this connection. That being said, that did remind me of something. And that says it's a long distance call too. Why am I getting so many of those? That's so bizarre. Like I say, it's a long distance from heaven to here sometimes. And for whatever reason, maybe because of how recently they passed, maybe because of how they're feeling, maybe because of the air quality. I don't know. They don't necessarily get close enough. I don't know what it is. I do think I don't know if I'm really feeling the divine guidance or whatever. I kind of think I'm thinking more randomly in my head, just numbers. Or just, I'm trying to make, sequences are like, oh, a lucky 7, and I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway. But it's something to do. But yeah, like you say, just, in a moment, there's one lucky person here. I don't know if the name Armando means anything to you. I was just mentioning that I just heard that name. Not, you're like, nope, you're off. And I did say you were the only one here. In a way, that's kind of a benefit if somebody is the only one here at a particular time, because then, it's most likely for them. Unless there's another angel that's just a very kind and social person that, happy to talk to anybody kind of thing, like myself, pretty much. I was going to say all 7s, but I don't think that would be likely. And then that would be 7 7s, and not including the area code. I don't like challenges, though, and it's starting to feel more of a challenge than anything. Every other number 7? I don't know. Part of me thinks, well, but that might be too easy for you to figure out now that I've said it, not that I've been watching. Part of me thinks it might be a very unique number. Kind of doing a rocking thing like her. Let's try spelling the place that I kind of, first place I met them at was the one. Then I'll spell the other place. with the 1 at the end. Hmm. 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 I was going to say, I'd recognize her voice, and I think I would. Um, but I don't know if she has a landline as well and she lives with somebody. That was actually a business, a voicemail. And yeah, like I say, I'm not trying to be weird, sketchy. I'm just hoping that something I try will bring me in contact with the person who I've lost. And it's, like I say, she commented on an obituary recently and was happy to, and it's not actually one of the family members, but would like family to the one that passed away, and said, "Lovely to hear from you. Will we ever hear from each other again?" That's the thing. I mean, like, I almost feel like, yeah, I found out that she's alive. May not be doing well, but that she's alive, that she does still remember me and care about me. But it would have been even better to have found out a way of contacting her. Now it's getting to the point where I've erased a couple of the numbers I've tried, and it's also just too much to look at and follow. And I don't want to call the same one twice. So I'm not sure. I think I could get away with doing it one more time and not getting the same one twice. And if I do, I haven't actually spoke to a person, so I don't know I have the wrong number yet. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. How many times is this now? 1, 2, 3. I think it's the 4th. So if I try 3 more times, I'd be at lucky 7. But I've had some 7s in this, and it hasn't been lucky yet. Hasn't gotten me where I'm trying to get with this here. So, yeah, it's a little bit creative. It's a little ingenious, or whatever the word is, to try it this way. But I didn't know what else to do. So, and people matter to me. Nice people who I have appreciated knowing in my life, where there's no reason even to get past that we're not in each other's life anymore. We just aren't, because, we didn't stay in contact well enough, or we only seen each other at certain things, and then suddenly life goes on, you stop going to those things, right? I'm going to type out in full the first 4 letters. It's actually a 4-letter abbreviation of the first place. And then the first 3 letters of the second place. Somebody just tuned in. Feel free to see who you'd like to hear from spiritually. I'll be right with you. Might not be long. I'm glad you're here. Looks like it's going to be voicemail. Well, that was a young guy, whose first name was the same as my steps. Or maybe it was Ryan, but anyway. I don't know how my step's memory is these days, with his challenges. I do know that I'm getting a bit hungry and it's 11 o'clock. Why are things hard sometimes, eh? There are two people that actually want to connect with each other. Even if I hadn't seen that comment on the bit, but then I tried to put one, and it didn't seem to go through. Even if I hadn't seen that, I would think that she probably might if she was asked. Um, but I have seen it, and it sounds like she does. And like I said, I think the only reason that she didn't put information there, she didn't want anybody else to have it, and possibly thought the site might send it to me. I was not even, I didn't even get a notification, you know, that I could see. And I looked in different inbox areas. Still don't know whether I sent Penny that draft. And the voicemails that I've gotten too haven't really been. I'm kind of curious to hear an interesting one, or at least something other than the person's name or automated. I'm just starting to worry, but I am getting a little bit whatever if I dial the same one, especially in a short time frame. But again, at this point, I still don't know if it's the wrong number or not. So, okay. Now, I do and don't feel like I've done this, but I'm going to try one more time this way, where I'm just going to try and listen to what my angels might be telling me. I mean, she doesn't have her phone with her. I mean, I think that's just we know that. Um, that and it's one of those special things that somebody likes to hold on to. They curious to see what they did on their phone or old voicemails or I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to try two other ideas that come to mind. Spelling the name of the person that passed away as much as I can before I get to too many digits, and then spelling the name of her. Because wouldn't it be funny if her number spelled her name? I'm not saying the area code. I'm not even saying the spelling. And there is different ways to spell it. So, but yes, let's start with the area code. I think it's missing a last letter, but I don't actually like long distance as well. I don't think the phone's going to register. You're calling a lot of people off quickly. Maybe I have an emergency going on. Yeah, I'm trying to let people know. 204. Okay, right. Thinking like Bobby Baba. Okay, I'm putting an E in there and the last initial. Not in service. I know that people don't get their numbers these ways, but okay, so that's with 3 of the letters that it starts with. And then I have to redo that again because I don't know what I did there. And then the first 2 letters of the last name that she goes by now. and then I'm giving up. That's a weird message to get. Your call cannot be completed at this time. So her other last name, first two letters, 3 B's. I'm tenacious, right? Not in service. And listen, like I say, yeah. But I am. I'm very tenacious, and when I really want something, I really want it. You know what I mean? I'm going to look to the sky, to the heavens, actually, for guidance. Is there more sun in that room, or is there more sun in there? We'll do it in here. Long distance. No wonder. It's been a long time since we've seen each other, and yeah, this is. I'm not sure why there's so many with our area code that are calling it a long distance call. It's so bizarre. I keep saying I'm gonna really, and it's because I'm a little bit like I'm just feeling feelings, and that's one thing that when you're channeling, you got to try and kind of relax them because they can get in the way. Could have a bunch of people saying, "Hi, I missed a call from this number." If they text it, it's a landline, so that won't work. And if they call, say, "Is this number for so and so?" No, oh, okay, I had the wrong number. I don't mind getting a few calls like that. It's fine. It's a game of some sort, a mean game. The universe is playing on me. Long for why am I getting so many of those? I don't. It's as if I should be in a different place because she isn't, or maybe she is. But if somebody has a local area code and they move, it doesn't say that it's like unless they have their location or GPS. I don't even think it still would. But I don't think those calls are even going through. So at least actually, there's not a lot of people going to see missed calls. Might as well make this an hour at this freaking point. Try for another 5 minutes. Another post got approved. Just one so far. She's in hospital. I hope it's not going to be another one that I find out 300 years later that she's been in the hospital in our neighborhood and I could have went and seen her. But that's the thing, whether the person's old or young, but more so if they're old, I would say it's hard to see that. It's hard to see somebody like that. you know. It'd be funny if I suddenly remembered I had her email address, but I don't. One thing I could do, thing is that businesses are particular about confidentiality, and I think that that can be the right way to be. But I also think that it's not. You know, I didn't get a call back last time I called to ask about somebody, and I said not a lot, but some details. And I don't know if they just thought, well, it should be obvious we're not going to be able to tell you because of confidentiality. So I'm not going to call back. You'll figure that out. Could be, could be. So it's kind of pointless. If somebody, it's been a long time since I bought a phone. If somebody wanted to, could they? But at the time, unless she's got a new phone, new life, new phone, in a way, she was an alcoholic. So I don't think it'd be that. It'd be the more recent one. Could they say, can I make up my own number? And if it's available, great. And then spell their name? How many letters is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ironically. And I know there's 3 letters on most buttons, but still, I think this is how this works. Long fucking distance. I did have something happen a while ago. I wasn't super close with her son, but I knew of him. And I like I say some the whole hour nobody said anything. But let's just select it in the settings as you're doing it, not after you're rolling, even though you can select it then too, but it doesn't show the live chat afterwards anyway. But anywho, I'd asked your son, and he pretty quickly blocked me. And the only thing I can guess, and there's some irony in this, even though I thought she was great, and if he wasn't going to talk to anybody unless he's got similar problems, you'd think it would be his alcoholic father. I'm still not saying names. And I mean, the name I have said, I mean, there's lots of those that are probably with an alcoholic can have a son, you know. I'm not saying where I'm from. But yeah, basically, you think it would be that one that he wouldn't talk with. But then it doesn't, a person doesn't have to be an alcoholic to be toxic, right? So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like part of me thought that maybe he did that because he doesn't really talk to her either. He doesn't want to talk about her. But at this point, all I want is a number, which I recently re-added mines. Re-got it from, I mean, I had a way. I mean, I don't know if he would have emailed his mother, but because I had deleted it at one point in time. Hopefully I forgot. I won't think about it anymore. It was nice and it has been good conversation. We'll see what happens with it. But I am kind of getting hungry. Fortunately, what I want to have for lunch is what I would have for dinner. Most likely, because we need groceries and I'm picky. I'm just thinking of, like, not that many people spoke at a funeral. I'm just thinking, it might be judged a little less. I don't know. Would it be? If I was to contact the dad or the uncle and ask them to ask the partner for his partner who passed away's former partner's mother's number, I don't want to cause a, people are feeling the emotions. I don't want to cause a rift because he didn't like that, when otherwise everything would be fine with them. Yeah, I'm not really comfortable doing that. Nobody else is going to have any suggestion other than is there somebody you could ask, or if I could find. I think I looked up for one. And they're really, except for the person that has the phone, this is pissing me off. Some people would say it's an example of when something isn't in your control. There's nothing you can do about it. But this is where I kind of think, well, but there is. I could ask the boyfriend. I'm also trying this. I could also possibly ask the son again, and maybe this time simply get the number for him. And I don't know which of these options is the best option. Didn't want to dial that number for some reason, although it looks like it should be able to. I don't know if there'd be any other groups to post to, but possibly. Hearing that feedback thing again, and nothing that should be causing it. That's weird. I heard two presses, so two maybe? I'm not hearing the feedback thing now, though. Just briefly. That's weird. It almost seemed like it was going to give it to me while I was on hold. It beeped twice, oddly. And that was it. almost thought I was hearing a voice while I'm on hold. Like, I don't usually hear it audibly. But we do live next to a busy corner. So I'm just on hold for someone. I might try again later. Um, we'll see. And I'm going to wrap this up soon and have lunch. But if there is a loved one of yours that has passed away that you'd like to hear from, put it in. They left. Too bad. You're ungrateful. And then it's kind of like if it's meant to be, it will be. But I don't think this one has events. It's got a spam. Just got an idea. Just worried about scammers. However, if they're free, then not that if they're not, they're scammers, but if they are, they're most likely not. If they are, they're not. Actually, I don't like the name of the admin, unfortunately. It's weird that this one's called free readings, but in the description it says we offer free and paid readings. I feel mixed about that. Free readings via wall posts and live events. Paid via one-to-one by appointment with that admin. It's private, but it's showing me a small preview row of people. Or other readers. Authentic and trusted readers vetted by our highly experienced admin team. What I'm confused about is didn't this page say it was private? An insured medium? I don't think I've ever even heard of that. Presley. If it's private, I don't know why I'm able to see members. Makes me wonder there's an answer in this. But not a members with people things in common thing. I like the word spells. Well, I don't know if I've tried rid of. That one actually says by absolute beginners. I've been doing this for about 15 years, but not consistently. Other than for myself, and even that varies. I think when I wrap this up, I'll try the duration in numbers. Might have to add one, but that's it. That looks almost like a clip. You have to browse these things though, because not all groups are kosher. Kosher people in them. A lot of spam sometimes. That looks like karaoke. Kind of going by the images that speak to me. Don't like that D word, but mostly a group of not super active welcomes. When the page reloads. What's AYE mean? Spiritual food. Almost sounds Scottish. I think that there's enough possible groups I could join to possibly see if somebody else can pick up on this energy better than me, because for whatever reason, I'm struggling. And I'm not used to struggling to channel. This is the thing, but this is a very specific thing I'm looking for. You'd think that would make it easier, yeah. But I do urge anybody who either has watched to this point or skipped ahead, and that could stand for a lot of things, to look at some of my other recent videos. You'll hear music. You'll hear me channeling loved ones. As far back as a few weeks ago, I started posting those kind of things. Some of them are obvious by the title, some not. And you will see that it's very real. I mean, I almost want to quickly say what my first one was. First ever, I don't even think I knew much about mediumships at that time, because you can't make this stuff up. Not that anybody's watching now, but maybe they will later. Basically, in a nutshell, I heard my boy and my son, so I figured dad, right? I was going through a time in life where I was trying to decide a bunch of things, trying to, grow on to date, jobs. Somebody's still trying to decide these things, some of them. I was thinking about a friend who'd been through a lot of losses. Well, he wasn't really a friend, but he was a co-worker, same first name. I mean, it's because we mostly talk to people on the phones, and he was a little bit shy, and, I talked to other people more. So, but I knew of him. I think we briefly connected online. Anyway, the point of the matter is, what's most important in this life is to do something that you like and enjoy, that you're comfortable with. The world's come a long way in accepting differences, challenges, etc. Don't be scared to live life. Things would be okay. Decided I'd write it out. Not that I thought I'd ever forget it. Wrote it out. Love, Dad. Was written with it. Can't get more real than that, right? Anywho, I think I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to try one other method. Then I'm going to go downstairs and have my lunch and look at some other things. And it may or may not be helpful in my plate to get this person's number. So yeah, I don't want to delay it much longer, so I'm going to wrap it up. And yeah, if you would like a session, I guess what would be the easiest thing to do would be to let me know in the comments, and I can comment back to you. I remember telling a couple people that spoke at the funeral on the weekend that they were very brave for going up and speaking, because they opened it up to anybody who would like to say anything, which is how I think it should be. But I haven't been to a lot of them. I think my dad was like that, actually. But sometimes you don't see that. Like, there's very specific people that they know are going to speak, and then they don't ask it. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if people are brave enough, they could get too many. I think they had about 3 or 4. What's the basis? But yeah, basically, well, I mean, I don't think it's a great idea, but if you're brave enough to put a phone number or email address, I could contact you. But I would want you to have, mention in your comment also who you'd like to hear from. It could be more than one person, perhaps. I don't know. And obviously not saying too much, but and I'd probably check out your channel. So hopefully you have some videos, because I'd like to check out your channel before I come in contact with you. But let me just say this, mostly because I just want to make sure that you seem like a legit person that's not, trying to do me over, essentially. But also, like, spirit does that. Sometimes it's not super obvious, or it takes a few tries, but our angels do that. They will lead us. Sometimes people get worked up when they think of mediums. Oh, if they can find it on the internet. Just like in life, when we sometimes see or hear people talk about their loved ones. Actually, I'm kind of putting it this way for the first time I think I've ever put it this way, but when we hear people talk about their loved ones, just like that, like, okay, you're sitting at your device, as so many of us are these days. And it's like, even if we don't hear it strongly, we just find ourselves, and it feels like we're being spiritually led to see what we need to see and ignore what we don't. And what they want us to pick up on, they will make obvious. And so there is that too. So, but yeah, if you don't want to give your email or phone number, watch for the comments and maybe I'll do it in the comments. Or, yeah, I guess it's, probably the easiest way. But I'm going to wrap this up now. Just getting to a number what it all like. But it's also getting to almost 2 hours. Anyone can post, start discussions, ask questions, and comment, but there will be no one allowed to post psychic reading services, okay, unless they are approved to do so, okay. Arguing, some people see a conversation as an argument, but okay, so I'm going to wrap this up.